Greg, are the Cowboys essentially finished if they lose to the Rams this week?
Believe it or not, no. No, they are not. And this is, if they were to lose, I still do not trust the Philadelphia Eagles. Mm-hmm. The Eagles, I don't care who they have, and the most important thing is where they're playing. They're on the road. Mm-hmm. So they have to go to the Redskins, who I think it was opening week.
So you don't trust the Eagles this Sunday?
I don't trust the Eagles this Sunday.
At all right now. Okay.
When you look, no Alshon Jeffries, no Lance Johnson. Lane Johnson. You're losing so many vital pieces, and even with those pieces, Shannon, you've struggled. You've struggled even with those pieces. And so I look at the Rams. The Rams are playing good ball right now, but they have to go to Dallas. Now, even if Dallas loses, I still trust the guys in that locker room. Let's eliminate the coach for a second. I trust the guys in the locker room, the players, to get it done. And if they had 2 more games left, let's say they lost, I still trust them to go to the Eagles and take care of business. And then the last game of the season against the Redskins. I do not trust the Philadelphia Eagles, period.
I can't disagree with him, Skip, because the simple fact of the matter is that game at the Dolphins, because you really could have put some pressure on you could have really put some pressure on the Cowboys. Now, had the Eagles won that game against Miami, won this game, and the Cowboys lose, I'd like, yes, Skip, they done. But when you look at it, they can lose and still they can lose this game at the Rams, go beat Philly, and they're still in first place in the division, and now they take care of business at home against Washington. They win the division. Skip, in 97, we lost 3 of our last 5. We were 9-1. We had the number 1 seed. We were riding high. And then 3 of the next 5 we lost. We go from being the number 1 seed to a wild card.
Wow.
Won the Super Bowl. The following year, we start out 13-0. We lose 2 of the last 3, going to win the Super Bowl. So all is not lost. But
what was your record those years? Do you remember?
We were 9-1. We ended up being 12-4.
That'll work.
But still, think about it. 12-4, you're a wild card.
Okay.
So
what was the other year?
14-2.
Okay. But my team is currently 6-7.
But see, Skip, we were made of something different.
Well, you were, and I can't argue that.
But the biggest thing was we didn't have to worry about our owner chirping, talking about firing Mike and these players and yada, yada, yada. He just sat back in the background, Mr. B sat back in the background and said, watch this. And now you'll be able to write this story.
So, I've mentioned this before, but I learned my football from Bill Walsh, Tom Landry, Don Shula very early on in my career. And the first thing I learned from any of those great coaches was it's very important to catch fire late in these seasons. You were there with your team.
Absolutely.
You have to. Something has to ignite in your locker room and then on your sideline and in your huddle and on the field where all of a sudden you can't even put your finger on the good part of it, the way Dak says, I can't put my finger on what's wrong.
Right.
But when it goes right, it just goes contagious right. And usually history shows you need to catch fire late to make a big run. Now, sometimes if you've won a lot of games early, you might have a lull, you might hit a slump, but you can jumpstart, you can reset because you already had a reservoir of good, of good feeling that you built through the year.
Right.
My team has built no reservoir. It has one quote-unquote signature win over the team you don't trust. And the team I don't have a lot of respect for, the Eagles, who have enabled my team all year long to play with no urgency, no real emotion at kickoff. They just sort of go through the motions, and it usually gets them beaten. If they get beaten badly by a suddenly hot Rams team, I'm just not sure you can dredge back up enough confidence to even go to Philly and win that game because history would scream to you they won't be able to. Because at some point, you lose all faith in anything you're trying. Who are we? Do we run it or do we pass it? Can we defend anybody? We couldn't stop Jeff Driscoll or
Mitch Trubisky.
Well, I don't even call him Mitch anymore. He's Lamar Trubisky to me because that's who they turned him into.
But Skip, at some point in time, Skip, think about this. They were thinking about putting Josh McCown in, the backup quarterback at receiver. Skip, you can't keep trotting out 3 tight ends in Greg Ward.
And you don't think Dallas knows that? You don't think they're watching Monday Night Football and they see the breaking news? Alshon's gone for the year.
Right.
Hey, we're golden again. We're good. We don't have to. We don't even need the Rams game.
Right.
What if you get embarrassed at home? I don't know. Can you dredge any confidence back up to go to Philadelphia? I've never encountered anything like this before.
Because what you said, and it might be true, They might not feel they can beat anybody, but they can feel they can beat hell out of the Eagles.
Okay,
Absolutely.
maybe. And I thought that from the start.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay, but here's, you want my worst case scenario? Is that they do. Let's say they get blown out by the Rams. They somehow go and beat those damn Eagles. And then they come home and play their arch rival and they lose to Washington. And
But they still won
Washington's
the
suddenly
division.
playing pretty well.
But they still will have won division to get a home playoff game.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
I
because
heard
all they
that
got to do is
math on
all they got to, because see, once they beat Philly,
Yeah, that's two over
right?
Philly.
Now if Philly wins, yeah, they'll still win. They'll still.
No, I got to look at that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the
issue
math on that one.
The issue is
Because they have a better division record.
The issue is Philly. Like
Yeah.
it's not even really Dallas. It is Philly, and everything that you said about your Cowboys is why the Cowboys still feel like, well, we're good because Philly's even worse off.
Right.
They're even worse off. We at least have all our horses in the stable.
Yeah, I got it.
Philly, what do we have to
So,
fight with?
Shannon, wait a second. On the math on that,
Yeah, but-
see, with my scenario, Philly would finish 8-8, and my team would be 7-9 if it blows the game.
Yeah,
to the
and
Redskins.
you-
I think
and
they
you
would
lose.
just
Oh,
lose.
you
one
say
number.
lose 2 of the last 3. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
So you would only lose. I'm sorry, only win one game
Right.
at Philly.
At Philly.
But you would have lost 4 or 5. You had lost 5 of the last 6 games.
Five of the last 6.
That could happen.
Because
I wouldn't be shocked
Crazy.
at all.
Dallas just got to finish with the same record as the Eagles, and because they would have swept the Eagles, they would have won.
right.
They would
Got
win the
that.
division.
Yeah.
But yes,
got
if they lose this game, beat but see here's they both.
They're both 6 and 7.
Yeah, Washington, Philly would win because
They
they would win this game
What would
and
be
then win the last game.
essential
against
to the Cowboy victory
Right.
formula would be win at Philly and come home and take care of the Redskins.
Correct.
Which might not be an easy task because, to your point about Philly has to go there, they're playing better.
They are.
They're legit.
They are.
They're running the ball.
respectable. They are.
Bill Callahan has them running the
Right.
football now. They're not just dropping it back and throwing it 35, 40 times.
I respect Bill Callahan.
Yeah.
And I covered his Raiders team that got to the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, and I know they got annihilated and embarrassed in the Super Bowl by John Gruden, the ex-coach of the Raiders. But he's a good football coach, and I think they really play hard for him. He's an offensive line coach by trade, but he's a pretty good CEO of a team, too.
Interesting.
So is it you don't think the Dallas Cowboys really plays hard for Jason Garrett?
They do not play hard for Jason
I don't
Garrett,
think so.
and they needed Philly to force them to play hard, and Philly still can't force them to play hard because there's no more Alshon. And I don't know if Aguilar's going to come back. You say, who cares?
Come back and do what? Drop
and
passes?
that's my point. Like even with their guys healthy, if Alshon was healthy,
I'm with you on
if
that.
Nelson Aguilar was healthy,
Yep.
if they had outside of Deshaun Jackson, if they had all those guys, I still don't think that they would beat the Dallas
Right.
Cowboys.
I told him earlier, I needed Philly to win 44-0 over the Giants on Monday Night Football so that my guys would watch it and say, we better get real.
What you
Here we go.
needed was them to beat Miami.
Okay, I needed
and that would
that.
have forced them
Okay,
against
we
Chicago,
need- yeah.
and that would have forced them against last week. But since they lost that game,
Force
Cowboys,
some
well,
urgency.
we're good.
Yeah, we're good. And they've been saying we're good for like 10 straight weeks.
Because they lost 2 games, the Eagles lost 1, and we're still tied. We still get to come to you guys and put you out the playoffs. That's how Dallas is thinking.
That is true.
because anytime you can control your own destiny, you feel like you're in the
Yeah.
driver's seat.
Yeah.
I don't got to hope
That's-
for anything. I don't got to hope nobody beat Philly.
Exactly.
We can take care of Philly when we see them.
Okay, so again, my point I've been making to you all along is if my team loses especially badly to the Rams, which is possible,
Okay.
the point spread's screaming they are going to lose badly, well, then what evidence will I have? I keep asking you, what is my evidence? What do I see with my eyes that would convince me to have faith in them to go to Philly? Well, the only faith I have is Philly.
Exactly.
Philly.
Watching
That's it.
Philly.
Okay.
They got to put somebody out there, Skip. They're running out of people. They could finna start pulling guys off the street to come catch the ball from Carson Wentz.
It's not a good sign. Maybe the fact that they're underdogs, though, will serve as a
Maybe.
motivation
But
for them.
if anybody can do it,
Keep them
walking to
wanting
him can.
Yeah.
You saw what he did
You
Monday
haven't
night in the
lost
rain.
hope?
He was bouncing.
Oh, no,
all night
walking to
long.
him.
Yep.
I said, look, you got to live up to your name. And then he literally started walking into
was
him in the man.
flying
Yeah,
through
he walked
yesterday.
that thing to Greg
I can't
Ward.
throw the wet football, but I'll just walk it to you.
Okay,
Right?
what about the one he hit Greg Ward in the end zone? Hit him in his hand.
Yeah.
And he what?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought he was in the circle the way he was juggling the ball.
You got to catch
I
that.
saw him hit Zach Ertz twice in the end zone because nobody covered Zach
finds
Ertz,
Ertz.
and I don't know why.
They find a way to get it done. But
Well, you get a chance to see why.
Yeah.
Next week, You'll see why they can't cover.
One thing Dallas can do is they can actually double cover Zach Ertz and make it hard on him. I don't know. They've always
Well, yeah, you can because they got nobody else to take that pressure off
They
him
took
now.
him away the first game?
Yeah, for the most part.
It was reasonable.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
they
remember.
yeah.
I mean,
He
they
got some passes
2
late.
home games left. Dallas, just get
On.
Just get one of the home games and take care of Philly.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.